Hello everyone, my name is Steve Nagel, and this is the 4th episode of the Vega Chronicles. In this episode, we'll be looking at some drag racing, as well as hear a car story or two, and maybe get a sneak peek at a project. Why don't you stay tuned and check it out for yourself, and I'll see you at the end of the show. Okay, I want to tell you a story about my Vega. And when I first got it, it had 14-inch rims on it, and wasn't really cutting it for the right stance. So, Moon, he's really good at that, getting the right stance and stuff. So, of course, he calls me up and tells me to meet him at his nephew's garage, and it was like a Sunday, and he comes and he has like tires, and I think he even has a couple of rims, but just to try on different wheel size, tire sizes rather. So we spent a couple hours on there on Sunday, and we get what I think is like the perfect size tire in there, and that's what I'm going to order it. Well, within less than 24 hours later, we see in the catalog that they make a little bit bigger tire than that. I think it's a relatively newer size that they make. It was a little bit wider, maybe just a hair in diameter, but I didn't know. I'd like to try. I was going to try to find a tire that somebody had that I could try on, but I couldn't find anything. So about a week later, I call my tire guy over lunchtime and order these tires. So I text Moon and I said, I pulled the trigger on these tires. I ordered the tires. And within like a nanosecond, it seemed like just like that, he texts me back, goes, "Great, now we both have brand new tires that we cannot use." It's like, come on. It's like, I'm not used to spending like $300-400 on something that I can't use. It's like, it's a gamble. And even my friend Tommy DePaul, he said, yeah, get the tires. They should look cool. Just, just get it. It's like, okay, but I don't know. I don't think I'm cheap. I guess I am, because it's like, I don't want to spend this type of money on something I don't know. But I guess that's just par for the course. And then I call him that day after work, and I talked to him personally. Think he's going to leave me off the line, off the hook a little bit. He has this diabolical laugh. It's like, he's not going to let me off the hook. I got to sort this out. So and what makes things worse, even worse, is that when I go to pick up these tires and they're on the rims, I got them put on the rims, and I'm taking them out to the truck. And the guy's helping me. He goes, "What car is this going on? Because this is an awful big tire." It's like, oh man. And then him, of course, him knowing Moon was my friend, he goes, "Oh, you give Moon a blowtorch and a pry bar," he goes, "he can make anything fit." It's like, oh man, come on. It's like, again, I'm just worrying. So lo and behold, I go home, they fit great. That's the tires I have on. But I just want to give you a demonstration how, yes, I am very lucky and fortunate and blessed to have the people I do around me. But it doesn't mean you get out unscathed. I mean, you gotta pay to play. I mean, it was a tense, couple of days for me. In hindsight, I guess it's not such a big deal, but it was at that time. But I just thought I'd share that with you. I thought that was a pretty good story. I'll never forget it. So, okay, this race features my friend Tom Carroll. He's in the near lane with Chevelle. He came with us to race. Somehow we got split up. I don't know, in tech or something like that. And this is the first time racing. He has more guts than I do. I was more nervous. He just went out there and raced. My friend Moon did give him some advice, like trying to ease out of the hole, because this is street tires. It's a pretty healthy motor in that Chevelle. And Moon tried to tell him, like, "Hey, take it easy. Just come out of the hole nice and sort of get on it." Well, as you'll see in a second, come out of the hole easy is not in his vocabulary. He comes out that hole hard, and he doesn't burn out 3/4 of the track down like a funny car of days of old. He has no lift in his soul, which is good for him. But he's a good guy, and it was a good first trip. Okay, this race, I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. I lost the race. I'm going up against the LS Camaro. My car's running pretty good. I'm turning some good lights. I really feel I should have won this race, but shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Just a lot of excuses. As you'll see, I turned a really good light, and everything was going good, and he just blew past me at the end. So at this point, for as much as I enjoyed racing, I knew it was time for an upgrade, and I'll fill you in on that in future episodes. But yeah, you'll see, I took off, came out of the hole really good. Everything was going good, but just at the very end, he blew past me, and then from there on in, it was time for a change. Yeah, I was looking through the archives. I didn't even remember this race. There was a few weekends we were racing. Seemed like it was good weather and just everything worked out pretty good. And this race, I'm going against a Cadillac. I believe that Cadillac was running 1040s. It was a pretty fast little Cadillac. And my Vega wasn't going anything near that fast. But I didn't care. I was going to give it the best shot. So it was, as the day went on, I was running better and better with that car, getting more confident with it. And I believe no, I know, I don't believe, I know this time I pulled the RPMs up against the converter, and I went a little higher and really stepped on the brake really good because I wanted to have a really good launch. At least have a little bit better chance against this Cadillac. And when I did, you'll see what happens. Yeah, I really go up the smoke. I went nowhere. And I remember I tried to get on it again, and I actually went sideways a little bit. And if you can hear the announcer, he actually said that the Vega seemed like it had a little bit of problems, and you hear somebody saying about he spun the tires, but that's okay. It was still, still a good race. Oh man, another nasty day. Just waiting for some nice sunshine. I'm gonna go see if I can't get some of my friends to open up their garage doors so I can take a sneak peek at their projects, or maybe a car in hibernation or something. They usually open the door for me. I don't know. We'll see what I can rustle up. Stay tuned. This is Moon's project. It's a 69.5 Maverick. Saw some track time. It was Old Warrior back in the day. He's putting it on the street. It's going to be a serious street car. It's going to be wicked. 331 Ford, not Chevy, Ford. I believe it's a 302 stroked out. I mean, he's doing a lot of work to his car, but he had a lot of work done to it also. I mean, he has a roll bar in there. He has the manual transmission in it. He has a Ford 9-inch going, but he's pecking away at it. He has a fuel cell. And I think I told you this is manual. He is definitely, I mean, he'll drive it automatic, but he won't like it. he definitely likes the 4 speeds. This should be a really cool car. A lot of work, but very cool. Looking forward to seeing it. Okay, so we were able to get Moon's project on camera. Wasn't able to get Moon on camera, and that's going to be a whole nother major feat to get him on camera. Although if you go back and look at the footage of the Maverick, his arm is on film. We actually got, I mean, it's a small sighting of Moon, but you do got his arm laying against the fender. So I won't really necessarily say that's a win, but I would say that it's better than nothing at this point. He does really exist. He's not a figment of imagination. As far as what I'm going to do again on camera, I have no idea. Maybe lure him in with painted M&Ms or some Ford parts. Have him at least come out and then ditch back in. Like a Bigfoot sighting or something like that. And we'll go over that in future episodes. Right now, I want to hit on a better picture of the cars and how we put the cars together. Moon and another one of my friends, Fritz, they've been putting these cars together for years like this. This is literally for, not years, their whole life. I shouldn't say years. It's been their whole life putting these cars together. They've been putting together on a working man's budget. In other words, there's no such thing as like taking the car, giving it to somebody, giving them 50,
100 grand, say build me this car. And in fact, if money's no object for you, you're probably watching the wrong channel, because money's definitely an object for us, and we can definitely do the best we can, keep the project going without breaking the bank. Doesn't mean it's cheap. It just means that we're doing the best we can to eat, put food on the table at the same time. Moon and Fritz, they should actually have a company like Moon Fritz Customs or something like that. I would love to see them have a collaboration, put something wicked together. Maybe someday they will. And these are all friends of mine that I'm fortunate enough to know that will give me a hand and help me out. Yeah, this is definitely grassroots or homegrown mechanics, or I'm not sure what term you want to use. I just want to give you a quick idea of how things work. When I got to Vega, we went sitting up a little higher, talking to Moon and my friend Tommy, DePaul, and all my friends, and we want to get a certain stance. And some of the people on the outside, they said, well, just get coilovers, have it sit, whatever. Well, coilovers are $700-800 for good ones. So instead of doing that, leave it go for like 24 hours, and Moon calls up, and next thing you know, he did the research on a Vega, nonetheless. Like, I mean, that's, I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but he actually did the research, and he found the right side coil springs to put in the rear end to just jack it up a little bit, put a bigger tire on there. So now we got the coil springs and got the shocks on and stuff like that, but you can't just, I guess you could leave it at that, but then what he did, he goes back through his archives in his head, and he remembers about the called airlift. I mean, this is technology from the 50s, and they used to sponsor cars. I forget what cars they sponsored. Airlift, they make what's called drag bags. You put them in the coil springs on the rear end, and you can, depending on how much you inflate them, you can control the spring rate. And you can actually, like I did in my car already, going off to the left a little bit when you do a burnout, and I adjust the air a little bit, now it goes straight as an arrow. So it's good. It's old technology. It works really well. And instead of spending $700-800 on these coilovers, I spent like $150. And I have a complete adjustable rear back end. I can adjust for coming out of the hole or whatever it may be. Now, that's a little secret. I didn't even want to tell anybody about that because I thought it was such a cool thing. It's like, oh, that's, but I let you guys have that one for free. So if you get a Vega and want to sit right, that's what you do. So, but just things like that really make things doable, again, for the working man. So once again, if you have absolutely no problems, money's no object, well, this isn't really for you. Don't want to chase you away, but we're definitely more of a grassroots, homegrown, working man's type of channel. But if you do have a lot of money, that's fine too. We just don't. But I thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Again, I had great fun making it. And thank you very much, and God bless, and see you later. Where were you in '62? Love American style.